Hi there, day 40, fighting the flu. And today I'm going to talk about what you do when you don't feel like studying. Because, excuse me, today was such a day. I watched the Canada Sweden final in the Olympics. By the way, I should say that if there's any Russians watching out there, I think that Sochi was a great job, was a great success, spectacular scenery of those mountains. The facilities were amazing. The hockey rink with the flags of the two countries on the outside, the score, all everything was first class, and everything that I've heard suggests it was. Journalists are always going to pick on things to make a story, about this didn't work or that didn't work. We had the same in Vancouver. But overall, there were lots of doubts as to whether Russia could pull it off, building, basically a whole uh, Olympic facility where there was nothing, and basically Russia did it. The opening and closing ceremonies were spectacular, featuring um, Russian culture, music, history, and so forth. It was a great event. Congratulations. And of course, I'm very happy that Canada won the hockey gold. It would have been nicer to see Russia and Canada in the final, but there you go. Today, I didn't feel like studying. What do you do when you don't feel like studying? It was 2 o'clock before I even, and it's a Sunday here, before I even considered studying. I had the 15 minutes with Ju Hyun on Skype. I spoke an hour of Russian, half an hour with Evgeny in St. Petersburg, half an hour with Elena in near Kiev in the Ukraine, because I'm following this situation. But I just couldn't get myself to study. So what do? The key thing in language learning is time. You have to spend the time. So when you don't feel like studying, find something that you feel like doing. So I didn't want to sit and link at my computer. I didn't really want to go and do my iPad thing. So I said, hey, I'll go and look at all the books that I've bought in the past when I studied Korean 7 years ago, and see if there's anything there that I can at least sit and do and get myself to do. So there was this book from Japanese which I sort of started thumbing through, but it was just the typical, boring dialogue. How are you? It's cold, blah blah blah. So I couldn't. 5 minutes, I gave up on that one. Then I went to this other reader that I had bought some years ago, and I did 2 or 3 chapters in it, but it's just too boring. It's, festivals in Korea and folk tales and things of that nature, and I just couldn't. So, but I did. Now I've put in 15 minutes, so I'm getting there. I looked at some of this series here that I had bought, and it was deadly as well. So, and this one here was deadly, so I wasn't getting very far. So then I started, I did some reading of my dictionary. This is an excellent dictionary, by the way. Excellent, because if what I'm reading is boring anyway, which is the case with those materials, this here, they have example sentences for each word, sometimes two, and they have the translation, which is handy if you don't know the meaning. And it's kind of, I always talk about the big picture and the nuts and bolts. So here it's an opportunity to go after the nuts and bolts. And I was able to do it for a short while. So pretty soon I'd gotten in about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour. Getting tired of that. Spent a little time on my Japanese grammar book. Was able to do that for a while. And finally I sat down and did, with my, now it's gone off here, with my, my iPad. Here's this, it's a story. I have the sound. I can look up the words I don't know. It's an 18-minute long economics article that one of our members loaded. So I did that for about an hour. So I guess I'm up to about an hour and a half today. And if I persevere, although my wife is saying we're going to watch Downton Abbey tonight, so tonight might be a light day. But the point I wanted to make is when you don't feel like studying, vary it. Try to find something you can do. If you're tired of doing this, then do something else. Listen, do something. Try to get that time in. I think some days are going to be lighter. Like I'm saying, normally I aim for an hour a day with listening, mostly listening. Here with my challenge, I'm trying to force myself to get to that 3 hour a day thing, but I think today is going to be a little bit light. So there you have it. I think if that's why maybe I buy a lot of books. I spend most of my time on Link. I love using Link. I developed Link because I felt the books had a number of disadvantages compared to what the internet can provide now with mobile apps, even more so. But I also buy books because you need that variety. When I was doing Romanian, I downloaded this tremendous grammar collection from the internet, which had hundreds of examples, and I'd spent some time with that. And it's all printed out. So I even sit in the bathtub and I do that for a while and listen. So you can have a variety of things that you can do, even covering the same material, so that when you don't feel like doing anything, of all the 10 different options, maybe you might find one that you can spend 15 or 20 minutes at, something else that you can spend some time at, and put in that time. You got to put in the time. So that's all I have to say. When you don't feel like studying, find a way to do something. Or in the worst case, take it.